They are making a difference on 938 Live.
Executive Director of SPD, Abhimanyau Pal, wrote an open letter to Minister of Social and Family Development, Mr. Chun, supporting the minister's call for the social service sector to be included in the country's infrastructure planning. We caught up with Mr. Pal to find out what he's most excited about in the recent developments in a two-part series of They Are Making a Difference.
I think in my letter I have mentioned 3 points, but if you put these into sequence, probably the Singapore's ratification on United Nations Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities, or UNCRPD, that we have signed, is actually set up the right platform for people with disabilities to think that their issues have been discussed on the national level, and they have all the rights to express their rights.
But how does the certificate actually help, or what does it change?
Last time, the people with disabilities may not come into picture when the policies are developed. That means they probably don't have much of voice to voice it out directly. So now that is done. So actually at the national level and a political level or whatever policy level, we are actually acknowledging that this group of people are actually part of the mainstream society, so which is bringing the inclusive society, kind of creating that platform that yes, we are moving towards inclusive society. And then definitely the leadership at the ministerial level, that's why we happily wrote this letter to Minister, so that in the past we have discussed, and we really started last 10 years, we are recognizing that there is a need to recognize that national building is not only about defense or economic development of country. It is equally important that we recognize social development of human beings is equally important, like these other two that sector I mentioned. But it was discussed, but no leader actually come forward to make it so clear in a national conference level, to make it so affirmative. And then third, that means then ministry also realizing that to bring our sector to the next level, we need to attract and retain talent. So the government also introduced a lot of schemes to attract brilliant minds into our sector. So these are the three, if I look at these three in a sequence, it gives us the confidence that we are moving towards the right direction.
I'm glad you feel that we are moving in the right direction. I want to understand how SPD was working with the relevant authorities to be able to bring about this kind of change.
Let me explain. Because we run around 20 different programs, and many of these programs from the developmental stage, that means when we are planning stage in that sense, we very closely engaged with ministry. Ministries have data and records. We have our ground knowledge. We are seeing where is the service gap for people with disabilities, what can be done to improve their lives. So it's a dialogue that we are engaged with different ministries, which bringing us a much more thoughts and clear ideas what is required or what needs to be done for this. So it's a lot of thought in the planning stage, and that is really no more a monologue, is a dialogue that we are developing and understanding the needs of people with disabilities.
And that was Mr. Abhimanyau Pal, Executive Director of SPD. We'll continue the conversation with Mr. Pal tomorrow on They Are Making a Difference. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daphne Lim.
They are making a difference on 938 Live.